I'm German SAIPOH, and I will explain the first three issues regarding first bank issue about letter of credit discrepancies. So the first issue that we have is Capital Ltd submission didn't match with the letter of credit regarding the names. So I take the case of Punjab National Bank and State Bank of India. In this case, State Bank of India failed to inform discrepancies to Punjab National Bank, and due to that, Punjab National Bank assumed that the document have no problem at all and found out later that they were rejected, causing financial loss. The court concluded that if State Bank of India managed to present evidence that they did inform, they could actually win the court. But State Bank of India uh, didn't inform Punjab in anything at all. So in conclusion of this case, that minor discrepancies justify rejection. So since First Bank did inform Machinery Ltd about these discrepancies, so First Bank can reject this application. The second issue that we have is regarding insurance coverage didn't fully cover. So since the Machinery Ltd have the first issue regarding the name didn't match up, it could be argued that the insurance also isn't as legit because they have the first problem. So First Bank can reject it. And the third issue we have is regarding the presentation deadline. Under Article 14D, it clearly stated that the documents must be presented within the specified time frame. In this case, Machinery Ltd present the documents late by 10 days. This also justify why First Bank can deny the submission. So in conclusion, Capital Machinery Ltd failure to comply with documentary requirements, insurance coverage, certificate of conformity, insurance coverage, and presentation deadline constitutes a breach of UCP 600. First Bank's rejection of the document was legally justified due to non-compliance with the exact terms of the letter of credit. That's all from me.
My name is Natalie. I will present for the Jaya Construction on refusing the goods and claim. Issue 1 was Jaya Construction justified in refusing the goods due to First Bank rejection of the documents. Jaya Construction refusal to accept the goods was based on document discrepancies identified by First Bank, which breached the strict compliance requirements under UCP 600. According to Article 14, Section A, Section D, and Section F, banks are obligated to examine documents for exact compliance, including ensuring that documents match the letter of credit terms precisely and are issued by the correct authority. In this case, the certificate of conformity was issued by an unauthorized entity. Insurance coverage fell short of the required full amount, and documents were submitted late. Legal cases from Kwai Tek Chow versus British Traders and Shippers on 1954 supports the buyer rights to reject goods if the seller fails to meet documentation requirements. So these discrepancies justified First Bank rejection of the documents, and Jaya Construction rely on this rejection to refuse the goods, making their decision valid under UCP 600 standards. For the issue 2, was Jaya Construction entitled to refuse the goods based on late shipment under the terms of the FOB contract? Jaya Construction claim of late shipment under the FOB contract centers on procedural delays in obtaining export clearance by Capital Machinery under an FOB contract. Seller must ship goods on time and obtain necessary export clearance as delivery deadlines are critical, as seen in Bunge Corporation um, versus Tradex Export on 1981. UCP 600 Article 14 Section A reinforced the importance of adhering to shipping timetables to prevent rejection. Capital Machinery shipped the goods on 20 November 2024 and within the designated November period, procedural delay because of export clearance issues raise concern. However, substantial delays caused directly by the seller's non-performance could justify the buyer claims, whereas minor or unrelated delays would not. Since the seller shipped within the agreed period and fulfilled key obligation, Jaya Construction claims of late shipment is unjustified unless they can prove significant delay caused by the seller's action.
Hello everyone, my name is ECCHILD AMINGSOI alias John. My matrix number is BB221609881. Today I will talk about Capital Machinery Limited's compliance and arguments. The first issue is allegation of failure to clear goods for export. The issue is, did Capital Machinery Limited fulfill its obligation to clear the goods for export under the FOB terms, or did its alleged failure cause delays? In this issue, the FOB obligation is the seller must load goods onto the buyer's designated vessel and ensure all export related duties are completed. The case reference that used in this issue is Vanchkop versus Tradex Export 1981, highlights that even minor failures in FOB duties can constitute a breach. The court also ruled that failure to do so, even on minor aspects, could amount to a contract being terminated or claims for damages. In this issue, Capital Machinery Limited claims fulfillment of its obligations, while Jaya Construction Sdn Berhad alleges procedural errors caused port delays. Evidence required to prove the seller's failure could include incomplete documentation or missed procedures. In conclusion, if Capital Machinery Limited cleared the goods correctly, delays caused by external factors such as port congestion cannot be attributed to the seller. However, procedural failures by the seller would breach the strict FOB compliance requirements. The second issue is argument of minor discrepancies not justifying non-payment. The issue is, were the minor discrepancies in the documentation sufficient grounds for First Bank to deny payment under the letter of credit? Under UCP 600 compliance, Articles 14 and 16 enforce strict adherence to the terms of a letter of credit. Case reference in this issue is Equitable Trust Company versus Dawson Partners Limited, 1927. The case talk about even minor deviations justify rejection. And the second case is Sikonsar Far East Limited versus Bank Markazi, 1999. This case talk about banks rely solely on submitted documents and cannot consider external matters. There are three analyses of discrepancies in this issue. The first one is certificate of conformity, which is issued by an unauthorized agency instead of the specified Plant Inspection Services Australia. The second one is insurance coverage, which only 90% instead of the required 100%, undermining buyer protection. And the last one is late presentation of documents. Breach the 15-day deadline post shipment. In this issue, the conclusion is First Bank's rejection aligns with the strict compliance rule as minor discrepancies breach the terms of the credit. Thank you for your time and attention. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.